Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and I'm here with my boy Dan for the first call. Say what's good.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, me and you have been talking a lot back and forth lately, and we wanted to we wanted to get a collab video done, and we have we're working on something hopefully upcoming soon. That's gonna be big, so that's gonna be so dope. But yeah, so we're just fucking talking about everything. You want to open up talking about like quick hits in the whole situation, what's been going on?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Pretty much I met you just through the comments. I think it was on QH2. Just we were both commenting. I saw you had some videos out. Started talking, and like you said, we've been kind of communicating for a week or so now. And I mean, if anybody doesn't know, this he's legit, man. He knows his shit, and he
Yeah, I
puts out some
appreciate
good
that.
content too. And like you said, we got a couple ideas that we're working on, and hopefully, I think it's going to be fucking fire, and I think you do too. And it will be something exciting, so it would be something for people to look out for, and you guys can get excited over it. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as like the quick hits one thing, I saw that like he's at 80 patrons now, and honestly, I don't see how that's even happening. Um, I just don't get it. I would have thought that more people would be like, this guy, he's been being called out about everything he's been, how he's thin skinned, he's, can't take, what's the word I'm looking for? He can't take constructive criticism and whatever, and any type of fashion. He blocks anybody. If you're asking for a face shot, I understand if you don't want to show your face, but you block the guy over that. Like, you had a straight up dictatorship of a channel, and
Hello?
more people's happy that. Yeah, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
I think that there's more people happy that he's gone now. And, he did only gain 10 Patreons from when we talked last time, which really isn't shit. What's that, a couple $100? My thing is, I thought a lot about it, and if you had any intelligence at all, none of this would have ever happened if he had just moved exclusive content to Patreon, and then kept maybe 3-4 videos a day over on YouTube for free stuff, and then he would have kept that market closed off, basically, because he had his, he was established, and like you said before, like, he was getting invited to, pretty big events and stuff, and,
Well,
he really just pissed all that away.
He claimed that he was invited. He said, "Oh, I'm going to the MMA World Awards." And so it was like when he mentioned it, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to the 2017 awards," and it was like early 2016. I think the 2016 one's just finished, and then he just never mentioned it again. So it's like, was that like a bluff, or I don't know. You never know with the guy, because he never followed up.
I think it's just one of those things. He's just talking to sound big, just to sell his product as bigger than what it was, really. From what I understand, he never did anything that would show his face. Like, he really did not want that out there for whatever reason. Like, he just didn't, and that's fine. I don't give a shit. But like everybody says, you're putting on this big tough guy persona. Like, probably not what you are.
I know. It's like, it's so, like, if you're going to talk that greasy, at least have something to back it up. You know what I mean? And with the whole Patreon thing, all right, so like he really had a lot of fucking cock riders when he was up. And all right, I remember a long time ago he was talking about a UFC belt and that he wanted, and that shit, like, those replicas cost like $500, $400. And someone actually bought one and sent it to him. And then when we were talking about, I was talking to like El Chapo in the comments. I remember him. I remember when he did the first call with Quick Hits, and because when he first started doing those hitter calls, he was like, "Oh, I can't take any international ones," and he finally figured it out. And then he did it with El Chapo, and then I remember like just one day after that, in the comments, Denise Knowles was like, "Oh, you blocked El Chapo? Like, why'd you block him?" And Quick Hits is like, "Oh, please, I don't want to speak about him." And then he was like such a bitch. And then when you hear El Chapo's side of the story, it's like, yo, El Chapo got fucked over and blocked. It's like, after supporting, what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, didn't he say he gave him like $100 over a while, or he gave him some $100 donations or something like that? Like, dude, that dude is paying you. Like, he is paying you, and you're gonna go and block him? Like, that's rotten, man. Like, that's cold.
It's so fucked up, and there's so many people. And that video with the hitter opening up with the piss when he was like telling like his story. Yo, the best part of it was it kind of like the way it was such a delayed reaction for me at first. That's why like you see 3 comments from me. I was like, oh, like first I was like kind of like didn't know what's going on, and then I hear the noise. I'm like, yo, is this guy taking a piss? And then I realized the context of it. I'm like, oh shit, that's the gorilla piss for Quick Hits in real life. I was fucking dying. I was like, yo, I had to link that video. And then when I was talking about it, I was like, everyone needs to see what I'm talking about because this shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man, that was good, man. That was hilarious. Who did that? Was that the Notorious Double Champ?
No, that was what's his name? I think his name is like MMA Fan or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think he just put something up yesterday too, kind of introducing himself a little bit more. I think that guy. I don't know. I'm interested to see what he's got coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I just subbed to him. Maybe I subbed to him a couple days ago, but like I don't know. He seems like he's got some knowledge in combat sports, and he seems like he'd be a real dude. So we'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm interested.
Like after Quick Hits 1 left, it opened up everyone. Everyone just got so much more vocal, and if you think about it, there's just so much good content out there now with like a community of people that support each other.
Yes, and dude, that is exactly what like my vision is like. And I mean, everybody's gonna do what they do, but I think it'd just be awesome if like 5 to 10 of us even just kind of all helped each other and share things and just made a community to where without the dictatorship. Everybody has their opinion. You shouldn't be blocked and have your comments deleted and stuff because you have an opinion that differs. Like if you're being an asshole. Okay, I agree. Be blocked if you're saying some rotten shit. But if you just have an opinion or you have to see somebody's face, why block a guy that has to see what you look like? Just don't respond.
I know.
It's just ridiculous. Like I think that guy could have had a lot bigger following if he didn't if he didn't do shit like that. Because like what I was talking to you about before is I just recently responded or subscribed to him. I'm sorry. I just recently subscribed to him not too long ago. It might have been 16, 17K, maybe even a little bit after that. But what I would search for him, and it's on YouTube. Like if you watch a couple of videos from a certain channel, they'll put those in your, on your home screen a lot. And so I see that, and like it was good for quick content, keep you up to date with stuff. Like QH2 said. A lot of times I didn't agree with what you said, but it was entertaining. We all knew you were full of shit, but it was entertaining. It was an actor, and, movies are a big business because people like acting. We know Nicolas Cage isn't like that. We like the acting. It's the entertainment. But it's not, it doesn't go forever, though, either. Like, you're going to reach a limit. I think that guy could have over double the subscribers. And like QH2 said, there's probably a lot more lurkers than there was subscribers. How he calls them the lurker hitters? There's probably more of those than there was actually subscribers. Because I remember, like, you said, we were talking about that belt. I remember, like, him talking about that all the time. I got my belt from Amazon just like Jose Aldo, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that show was fucking funny. But just to bring that up as far as, I remember exactly what you're talking about that belt.
Yeah. And on... Yeah, you're exactly right, man. I agree with everything. And on that note, it's like he could have. All right, so he started the channel in at 189 with Connor, fucking Chad Mendez. So when you look at from that point to where he had no one listening, to like 2 years later, he had like what, like over 20 million views or something like that, 20,000 subscribers. You could
Yeah,
have
that's not very long ago, man.
to do that, you could have made so much more in the influence. You could have really lined up a legit like shit with UFC, with like UFC on Fox. You could have really gotten like an online network. You were fucking developing an audience and a community, and you're gonna like throw that away to like try and cash out. Honestly, also I feel like if everyone wasn't as vocal about what happened, like when he left and expressed their feelings, I feel like a lot of people, like, we kind of like opened a lot of people's eyes, just everyone talking about it, because his goal was 500, and the fact that he got like up to 80 so fast, like, who knows, like maybe some people would have fell for the bullshit if like people weren't like, you know what, yeah, other people feel this way too, like fuck that.
Yeah, well, what I really think, I mean, and we talked about this before too, is that I think that, he kept telling her, the advertiser was running out on YouTube. He kept telling everybody, hey, I'm moving to Patreon, I'm moving to Patreon. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers doing that, but they're keeping their YouTube channel up. They didn't just banish their YouTube channel. And he kept saying that, well, he wasn't getting enough people over to the Patreon, and he was telling us, hey, I got some special stuff over here on Patreon, da-da-da. You want to go check that out? And I don't think he was getting enough people biting onto it. So then he just did what, he had to force people. And I think that he did account for a couple people trying to jump in and take his spot. I don't think maybe he did, but I really don't think he was that stupid to not, think, or at least, somebody in his close, circle of friends are telling, like there's going to be some people trying to jump in. So I think he actually had that fake cease and desist letter ready, just for whoever. Because what he was probably thinking was, whoever's doing this is probably just going to have maybe 15, 20, 50 subscribers, and they're going to, what's the fucking point of this? I don't want to go through all this just for a few subscribers, and it'd go away easily. And I don't think that he even accounted for, quick hits too, to gain the traction that he did.
I agree with a lot of that, but I think about this, the fucking cease and desist. First off, I feel like Quick Hits 1 was so egotistical. He wouldn't have felt that anyone would have filled the void. You know what I mean? Otherwise, he wouldn't be charging fucking $20 a month at Patreon. He would have charged something.
I'll take back what I said, because I do agree with that. I actually 100% agree with that.
I feel
he could have undervalued it. He overvalued himself.
I feel like he really, truly, in his heart of hearts, felt like he was the only fucking MMA channel that matters, and no one's gonna. He felt like he's gonna leave. Like you said, the people are gonna get shocked when he leaves YouTube, and everyone's just gonna come over.
Yeah.
Yep, but that shit.
And hey, like she said, that was never even a thought to me either. It was like he said, dude, that's stupid. I don't even see him doing that. And I was like, man, if that happens, that'll suck. But there ain't no way in hell. Like, there is no way in hell I'm going to pay that. It's just not even going to happen. Like, I don't even pay for pay-per-views, let alone hear a third source opinion.
I know, right? even like fuck a fight pass. I'll definitely just type in like Google whatever, like versus whoever full fight, and that shit pops right up in Russian, like in some Russian fucking player. But it's all good. I might get some Russian commentary, but like.
It's all good though.
Yeah,
you're seeing it.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're wanting to do, is see it. And I don't need to pay that just to hear you ramble on like some fake shit. Like if I thought, like maybe if you were realistic or legit, maybe if you charged $5 a month. Yeah. I mean, if $5 a month, you would have got. I bet if he charged $5 a month, I bet he'd have 4,000 to 5,000 people on Patreon.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
I bet a lot of people would have gone.
I could definitely see that. Yeah, most definitely.
But definitely, if he had $1 a month, like he would have probably got everybody, or even $2, probably got everybody for the most part. Granted, probably still not me, because I don't like monthly payment subscriptions. Fuck you.
I know.
For that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man.
But you know, the problem is too is like the more and more we keep talking about it, like Quick Hits One is over on Patreon. That's just reminding people, well, fuck, you know, I'm not really quite liking this. I'm gonna go over to Patreon, and they're really still just advertising for him at a certain extent.
Like all they say, fucking all press is good press, right? So he really is still
Right?
getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because honestly, all right. So he was like, his jump when he deleted YouTube was like 20 people. He went from 30 to 50. But Quick Hits 2 was driving a lot of traffic there to Patreon.
Yeah. Well, and I could see that too with like his first couple of videos.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'll
that's
have
what
to
I'm
comment
saying.
saying like, you know,
That's what I'm
I'm gonna
saying.
sub and I hope you do good, but man, just I think I said something like, be honest and be yourself. You know, It's something along the lines of don't try to mirror the first one or what, however I said it.
Yeah.
And you know, he slowly, you know, like let's say the videos that came out last night, I listened to him this morning. That's that dude, you know.
Yeah, yeah. He came into his own. And the thing is, like, Quick Hits 1 is so stupid because Quick Hits 2 was he was a smart man. He filled the void that there was, and he was respectful in advertising for Quick Hits 1. No one would have known where Quick Hits 1 was if it wasn't for Quick Hits 2. Before he like hit up, you remember he in the beginning he was like, "Yo, we're just trying to take off where like our boy like left building the community. He's overdoing this shit." He would let people know. And then Quick Hits 2 ego just fucked him over cuz that's really like he could have networked with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at first, like I first saw it, like Quick Hits too. I kind of thought it was just maybe a friend of his was going to take over or something. Just have Quick Hits 2 on YouTube so that they kept that on lock, and then but. That's not at all what it was. Like, and even if he did that, that would have been smarter. Like, if he would have sourced it to somebody that he knew, you know, that he could still maybe have, or like you said before, sell his channel.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different things he could have done, and what he did was clearly out of greed, and everybody sees it.
Yep.
And I think like a lot of that stuff, like him getting invited to stuff, I don't think he would have ever gone, and I don't think he's ever going to go to any of it because he doesn't want to. For one, he's got how many fighters just fucking wanting to kill him for all the shit that he's talked to Alpha Male Cheerios and all that shit. And he's going to have to expose who he is. And I don't think he really wants to do that. Like I think it was you who said he's probably some fat fucking slob carrying on the persona of going to the gym and doing all this stuff. He's just a radio personality. You know, like you hear however many people on the radio every day, and you hear their voice, you come accustomed to them and stuff, but you have no idea. And 9 times out of 10, you're shocked at what they look like.
No, I agree 100%, man. You're on point with everything with that. Yeah, man.
But aside from that, fucking shithead. Dude, that shit with Cyborg and Magana, like, dude, I really feel bad for Cyborg in a whole. Like, she has gotten the biggest shaft of anybody probably in the UFC ever. You know, for as talented as she is, and for the shit that she's had to put up with. You know, like.
Did you?
I get it. A lot of it's funny, like, you know, Wanderlei in a dress. That shit had me rolling.
I know.
But at the same point, like, that's fucking wrong too.
Did you see the interview she did with fucking Brendan Schaub where she like talked about all like she gave her side of everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt bad for her.
That's when I actually became a Cyborg fan. Was from that interview. Like I really did because like it's wrong. It really is. Like, give this lady her shot. She is the best of the world, and you guys are just keeping her on ice. You're not even giving her potential. She could literally be the next McGregor of the women, you know?
Yep.
You give GDR the title shot. Like, I was not a fan of GDR. The only thing that I've ever liked about GDR is that she knocked a dude out. That's gangster. I thought that was funnier fucking to me. I even showed my wife that, and that was fucking hilarious. Like, that's the only thing I can say I like about her. Like, especially in the Holly Holm fight. I'm not a fan of Holly either, but I'm just saying, like, those are definitely late shots. And whatever, there's all that controversy over that, whatever. I don't know, just all the shit in that fight, and then especially at the end of that fight when they're like, she's like, oh yeah, everything, I'm gonna fight whoever, blah, blah, and they're like, well, Cyborg said, oh fuck, my hand hurts.
I know.
And now they're gonna strip, good stripper, because it's like, she shouldn't have, neither one of those two should have been fighting for the title.
I know.
Realistically, they when they open up a new division, they should have a fucking tournament. Get the 4 top people that you think would be the best, because there's always 1 or 2 people that get left out of that discussion. Have a tournament. Do a pride style. That would be gangster, but they're not going to. But do a tournament and have a quick turnaround on it. If you have the first fight in 1 week, you could have both fights one night, or you could spread them out in 2 different, however, but have a tournament.
Yeah.
That's the fairest and best way, and you get more fights out of it and a lot more publicity for it.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have a champion that's worthwhile of being the champion. They actually just earned that.
Yeah, they did that when they opened up flyweight, right? They had a little tournament,
Did they? Oh, shit, I can't remember. They might have.
I don't think it was tournament format, but they had all right, so fucking they had DJ. I don't know who. I know it was DJ Benavidez. I don't remember who else dropped down, but whoever else dropped down, they had the top 4 guys face each other. They had a fucking a bracket structure, and then that's how DJ won the belt. He fought a few fights at flyweight before he actually got the belt.
Right on. No, I guess honestly, no, I didn't. I have not followed DJ until recently. Really, even the 125-pound division. It's only starting to get interesting to me personally now. DJ just tied the record and maybe gonna beat the record. But yeah, I've been a fan of DJ, but just hasn't been something I followed. DJ is just one of those fighters, in my opinion, that DJ's fighting, he's gonna win. There's not a lot of reason to tune into it for my my enjoyment. But that fight against Wilson Hayes, man, that was impressive. I was very excited during that fight.
Yeah. I feel all right, so I might get some slack and backlash for this, but personally, when it comes to the record, I don't hold it in the same light as Anderson Silva's record because of the strength of the schedule. You know what I mean? And
100% agree.
And Jon Jones, honestly, that he stole the champion. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. To me, he stole the champion. That OSP belt defense wasn't the interim strap. That was another defense. He never lost the belt. He just fucked up a lot. But he never lost for where it matters. So how can you say another guy?
He never lost it. No, he never lost it, and that's the same with Conor. He is the 45 champ.
Yep.
It just got taken. Got stole back.
Yeah, I call that shit. I said that shit the other day. It's fucking. You have Aldo, who's really the interim champ, and then you have Holloway, who's the interim champ.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Oh, yo, do you want to talk about the fucking 212 card a little bit, or at least a few fights on there?
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
All right, we'll start off with fucking the headlining: Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. Who you got? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I have a lot of excitement for Holloway coming up. But Jose just doesn't really seem like he loses those kind of fights. But Holloway also has really, really... That's one of those fights that I'm not going to be disappointed in who wins.
Yep.
Jose Aldo is one of my favorite fighters, and I think he's getting a lot of shit lately. And I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves. But at the same time, I don't think Holloway is either. I think he's on the climb. But I think that if Holloway beats Aldo, that's going to be about the forking it for Aldo. I think he's going to have a hard time getting back into the fans' graces after that, because I just think that KO from McGregor really just. It was the first thing that really did it, man. You have something else like this, and then he fought safe against Frankie, and then I think if he doesn't win against Holloway, then I just think it's about the end of the line for as far as fans, really getting behind him. And I don't really think Holloway loses much if he were to lose. I think he's young enough, and he's had such an impressive win streak coming up to this that if he were to lose, it's not really going to do much.
Yeah, and when you look at the win streak, his last loss was that Connor fight, and he was so young in that, and that was fairly recently. So you look at that in that time frame, fucking Max Holloway fought like 10, 11 fights in that time and won every single one of that, and then at 199, that fucking classic Ricardo Lamas fight where he at the last 10 seconds.
God, dude.
Yo, that shit was fucking crazy. That 199 card, like, fucking came the fuck through. That was a dope-ass card.
Yeah. Dude, that right there, what he did, should be in more highlights, like replays, UFC promotional stuff. Because that's like the heart of it right there. Like, he was winning. He didn't have to. He could have just pulled McGregor and ran around, like he could have, and just kind of, for the last 30. But he's like, no, fucking let's throw it down.
I know.
God, that was great.
I know. He really could have fucking just skated off. He knew he had that decision, but he's like, yo, fuck it, let's go right here. And the face he made when he pointed down, I was like, oh shit, he does not fuck around.
Yeah, that was some good shit.
Yeah, I think like you said, man, McGregor brought in a lot of casual fans, and a lot of people's first fight they watched was that 194 card where Jose got slept real quick. So and a lot of the casual fans they don't know that Jose fucking slept fucking Cub Swanson in 8 seconds with a flying knee. They don't know about the history.
Of the year.
Yeah, they don't know about the history. So, and he was undefeated. And when you look at that, he was pound for pound number one at the time when he fought Connor in the rankings. They were saying he's undefeated for over a decade. He's one of the greatest. He's like, whenever someone has a good, like a big fight coming up, their rankings always go up and their like allure goes up. So they're saying Jose's one of the GOATs, and then Connor just comes in 13 seconds, just knocks this motherfucker out. And then,
a lot of the people who get behind Connor really aren't. I mean, they don't. They're fans of Connor, not of MMA or UFC.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't think that if they did that rematch, it would go the same way. I think that it'd be a much harder fight for McGregor.
You know what? Like, after seeing fucking Aldo Mendez 2, I want to see McGregor Aldo 2. I don't want to see the build up to it, but I want to see how that fight would play out, how everyone would have expected it to, like a 5-round war, almost like a, like the Mendez fight. So something like everyone was going back and forth. And when Jose came back against Frankie, he was looking good, but like, I don't know, his legacy was kind of just like the aura around Jose Aldo wasn't the same, and it's still not.
Everybody is so behind Connor that no matter who he fights, it almost just takes away from the person that he fights. If that makes sense. Like, Jose shouldn't have really lost anything from that fight other than his belt. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's I don't know. I'm still a big fan of Jose. God damn, that guy's a killer.
Yeah, he's fucking badass, man. Like, he
was back in fighting back before, like, it was really so trendy and mainstream. Back before there was UFC on Fox. Like, when he started fighting, he was fighting because he was fighting. And that's what he loved to do, And he's been around for a long time, and a lot of what he has done has molded the sport into what it is. How many title defenses did Aldo have? Do you know?
I could look that up real quick, but bro, fucking Jose Aldo's not even 30, or maybe just turned 30. He's fucking like 29, and he did all that shit. Damn. Yeah, man.
And now it's his prime.
Now he's like almost kind of like almost in the same breath of Jon Jones, in the sense of he did all that at like a young age.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Jon Jones Cormier fight, man. God damn.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited to see Cormier get his mouth shut. Like, how he's coming out now talking like he's some big bad gangster motherfucker. Dude, you're not. You are button-up shirt Fox guy. That's what you are. You are suburbs, minivan. That's who you are. And, I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying, like, that's completely fine. But don't try to come out and act like you're some gangster at a press conference, try to make it sound, like, hype up the fight. Like,
He's fucking...
we know you're not that.
He's Carl Winslow trying to act hard. It's like, it doesn't mix. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, Jon said about his kids pretty much what Kevin Lee said about Michael Chiasa's mom, which is really nothing. They both overreacted. It was really nothing. And it was the same place. Both those comments were really nothing. I mean, I got kids. I can hear you are not allowed to talk about my kids, but what Jon said was legitimate. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
how are you going to tell your kids that you were the champ when you never beat the champ?
And the thing is, Joe, all right, at this point, they had so many build-ups, so many press conferences. Jon Jones said that shit so many fucking times. Why is it touching a nerve now? Why are you, like, flicking a bottle? He didn't even throw a bottle. He flicked his wrist, and the bottle flew at him.
It was an accidental bottle throw.
It was when he was hissy fitting. It slipped out his hand. I threw a bottle right in your face.
He was a bitch. Shut up.
He's a bitch ass. He's a bitch. Yeah. And he was like, I could bring that side out of me, a little young man. And like the fucking dumbass.
Yeah, and what was it? Cormier's just a fat fuck. When he was just right at the night of the fight. He was like a pound within, not being able to fight because he'd reached that limit.
Yeah,
what was it like? You can't gain back to over 40 pounds or whatever. 40 pounds over the fighting, like, so maybe 245, whatever it is. Don't quote me because I don't know, but it's something like that. Mm-hmm. He almost didn't make that.
That's crazy.
He missed the second weigh-in after he just fucking did tailgate.
He's so, like, that's the thing. When you're going to come out and you're going to you're like, all right, I can't beat Jon Jones. So in the public relations aspect, I'm going to attack him. I'm going to point out his flaws. I'm going to paint him as a junkie. I'm going to paint me as a perfect family guy that plays by the rules, that does this. And then when it comes to a point where it's just making the fucking weigh-ins, you're going to cheat, and you're going to cheat so blatantly.
Yeah, well, let's be honest about it. Like you said in one of your previous videos, the OSP fight should have been DC Jones. Mm-hmm. I mean, that should have been it. So Jon should have got that belt. Okay, then Jon might have gotten stripped for the belt. Or is it that maybe none of that shit would have ever happened? Jon would be the champ. You shouldn't even be the champ right now. There's two instances. One, you should have been stripped when you didn't make weight. Yep. And they let that happen just to save the fucking card. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows it. And you pulled out of the fight. Yep. And, when Jones fought OSP, you pulled out. And like you said, nobody brings that up anymore. It's just forgotten. But that's the reality. You fucking pulled out. Mm-hmm.
When he was hurt, not injured. Like, oh, my foot hurts. I checked the kick and then I'm not good. I'm pulling out. It's like, are you serious, bro? And then that was after. Was that after or before, like, Jones, like, when he talked shit to the cop in the vet and then he got arrested and we're like, oh, is Jones gonna, like, fuck this up again? And it ends up Cormier's the one that pulls out?
That was right before the cop in the Corvette thing was right before 200. Because that was the first thing where he was on probation, and now I believe, I mean, don't quote me, but this is what I think, is that was the first thing where people are, really scared if Jones was going to get pulled out of that fight, for violation of probation. And
I think that was 190. That was 197 because I remember it was he had that shit with the cop, and then like they arrested him because of that. And then I remember DC was saying, oh no, Jon, like, don't fuck this up. It was at 197. And then after that, It was the OSP fight, because I remember after the OSP fight, then Cormier finessed his way onto 200. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, wasn't it Cormier and Jones fighting on 200?
Yeah. That's exactly why. Because DC pulled out a 197, they fought at 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jones was like almost pulled off a 197. Like, I mean, this is it's not really important or anything like that, but it's just so it's like, man, this chapter should have been done and over with. We should have been able to have the timeline of where Anthony Rumble fought John, because if you think about that. All right. Oh, and did you hear what I before I get into that? Did you hear about the video I did where I was talking about DC when he pulled out of the Toronto card?
I'm sure I heard about it, but remind me.
Where George St. Pierre came on to UFC Tonight, and then he was like, it was during the negotiations, and he was like, "Oh, we're talking to the UFC. I want to be on the Toronto card." And DC was like, "Oh, so you're saying you're coming back on Toronto?" So and then right after that, DC Johnson 2 was announced on Toronto. And then when Dana came and he was like, "No, GSP didn't work out. You guys are the headline." After that, DC pulled out of that fight.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of DC. I don't know. The guy, I don't know. I'm just not a fan.
No.
I have a lot of respect for him as far as what he's doing and where he's at and stuff, but, like, I'm not going to talk down on him as a fighter, but I'm just not a fan of him as a fighter.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. I respect the things that he does and he did, but like as a fan of the sport, his talk is corny and his fight style is not that entertaining as of recently. So what could I say about that?
Yeah. Well, back to the cyborg Magana thing. Dude, this Magana chick, like, I did, like, kind of looking back, listening to some of her interviews and stuff. I mean, that's just kind of how she is, like, putting out those Twitter jokes and stuff. And, like, she's, like, a real sense of humor type of person, like, always trying to be funny and shit, never really taking anything too seriously. And to be honest, that was fucking hilarious. But at the same time, if you're going to put something out there like that, and then that person, I mean, she did, yeah, I can put out whatever the fuck I want. And then, okay, you got clipped. I mean, it wasn't even, you got a jab. You went to the hospital off of a jab. You are a fucking UFC fighter. And you went to the hospital off of a jab. And then you press charges. They go, oh, the UFC recommended that I press charges. Yeah, they recommend you press charges. And that's when you say, no, I don't want to press charges. I want to fight her. Make this shit happen. Like, you just took the fucking Valley schoolgirl bitch way out. Like, you did exactly the wrong fucking thing that an actual real fighter does.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly I couldn't have said that shit. I couldn't even thought about how funny that shit was. She fucking got like press charges over a jab. That's so true. And when you look at it, when you look at when Cody fucking choked out TJ real quick on Tough, as soon as Cody grabbed his neck, fucking TJ swung and like went to throw a punch, but then people got in between and broke it up already. So that's like the natural thing for like a real fighter is like as soon as shit like pops off, you start swinging. But like Magana just ate that jab raw and was just like in shock and awe. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, she just stood there. And Ariel Helwani saying, oh, she was visibly rocked, and so, like, no, she wasn't. She didn't even take a step. But like you said, she didn't fire back. That should have been her first reaction. You got hit, fire back.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. That girl's not a fighter. She shouldn't have been at the fighter's retreat. She might be a good training partner. She might be a good sparring partner and shit for people to fucking be a punching bag on. But she's not a fighter. Like, clearly. She's on fight. And actually, I watched some of her fights. Like, goddamn. She might do good in regional shows and stuff, but she's not a UFC fighter. No, she shouldn't even be on the roster. Cut her ass. Why did they waste some money even bringing her out to that?
I've never seen any of her fights. I've only heard of her name. And she never popped up on my radar, or like there's nothing you could really hear about her outside of fighting. I mean, like within fighting, all I could hear about her is like people say she takes like slutty pictures and shit like that, and like she's like kind of like
just about ready to say.
She's like the Felice
Herrig. She's a dirty girl.
I know, she looks like it, dude. Like you could fucking like see the dirt, and like she kind of goes like the Felice Herrig aspect with it, and it's like, all right, like that's cool and everything, but you gotta back it up with your fights. And when you get like, I understand, all right, if you're scared of Cyborg, if it comes to it, if she fucking clips your shit up real quick, you're not willing to do anything. Why post it in the first place?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why exactly? Why even put that out there? But why handle it like that? Like you handle it. God damn. That's like office person type of shit. How they handle that, like talking some shit on Facebook, get confronted, get clipped up, and now you press charges. Well, none of that would have ever happened, dummy, if you didn't fucking run your mouth in the first place. You opened that door.
Yeah, and she probably could have finessed her way out of it if she was like, listen, I saw it on the internet. I'm sorry. I thought it was very funny. I didn't mean to disrespect you. But she was talking like a fighter. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck you. Exactly. I can post what I want.
She fucking invoked a beast. She invoked a fucking trained killer. What do you think's gonna happen? You're lucky she just popped a jab out.
Yo.
That's fucking Cyborg, bud.
Cyborg said, all right, you want to call me Jigsaw? Let's play a fucking game then. Like, eat this fucking jab to the face.
But the one thing, though, that tweet was funnier than fuck.
Funny as a mother. I was dying. I was like,
yo.
That shit was so accurate. I can't even lie.
But back your shit up.
Exactly. And yeah, man, like that's so crazy. And now you told me the other day that she wanted to like roll with Cyborg. Now Gabby Garcia's calling her out, and she was like, "Oh, I'll fucking roll with you in a jiu-jitsu match, and then we could box right after." Like what?
Gabby Garcia is a monster.
She's a man. Like
there's not even right. There's not even a weight class. Like she's fighting these fluke fights of like Japanese wrestlers and shit, like grandmas and shit, because nobody wants to like. That girl, I don't know, man.
They don't want anything.
She's a man.
She's
huge.
It's almost like a circus, like with her, and like the way they're treating her especially in Ryzen. It's like, yo, that shit is like a freak show because she's fighting like old ass tiny people. No one wants to fight her. The only person
I'd like to see out of Ryzen is like this kind of ties into QH2's Fantasy Fight Series, which dude, I was thinking about that for like the past couple of weeks. Like, what's the next crazy headline thing that could happen? At some point, some woman's gonna be, face a man, or you could have like what would you call it, like a co-ed division, where, whatever woman's fighting is going to be 10 pounds heavier than the man, or however you want to do it. But that could kick off in Ryzen, and Gabby Garcia could be the person, Yeah,
Ryzen would definitely head in that direction, and Gabby Garcia is the person for that. It could be like the Gabby Garcia takes on all division, and she'll just like fight a bunch of diesel guys. And the only person that you could even kind of categorize in the same breath as fucking Gabby Garcia is Cyborg, and they're friends and they won't fight each other.
Right.
And yeah, and it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It's all, at first, it's just corny, man. Like, you're gonna talk shit, you get hit, you don't do shit, you press charges, you're kind of fucking up a division, the women's featherweight division, which is already fucked beyond belief. It's like, just
and then her tweets come out like, the criminal will be getting arrested soon. Like, that just makes me want to slap you. Like, what are you... The criminal's getting arrested soon. She's a criminal because of you. She did what she was expected to do. I wouldn't expect anything less from her. Actually, I expect more out of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she, as far as I'm concerned, Cyborg's getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Fuck, that was her breaking point. Sorry, it was you. You shouldn't have tipped the barrel.
Yep.
Like, a person can only take so much, and from Cyborg's point of view, she's getting shit on hardcore. A woman being told cut your dick off to make weight, it's fucked up. Like, that's fucked. Or having a funnier fuck, or the president of the company, like, saying that's Wanderlei with the dress. Funnier than fuck. True statement. I completely agree with you. But from the president of the company, that's.
It's fucked up.
That should have never gone unnoticed. That should have been done head on right away. He should have been apologizing.
He definitely should have. And no matter what, no matter how, because I always like Dana for keeping it real, but that's just like, you don't say that as a human being to another human being that you especially are working with. You know what I mean? Like,
who could potentially be a huge face of your organization.
I know.
Like, I mean, she could be on a 15-fight champion win streak by now, but you've never gave her that opportunity.
It's fucking... It's like, all right, so Ronda was the golden child, and then and fucking Cyborg was the enemy of her, so they're positioning her as the fucking bad guy. But Dana, like, it feels like Dana took that shit extra personal with her. And even when Ronda out the picture, that, like, the fucking, the hate is kind of still there, you know what I mean? Like, he still resents her.
Yeah, absolutely. But Cyborg would have dismantled her. Like,
oh, yeah.
I was so happy when I knew that night I became a big fan of Amanda Nunes when she came out and just destroyed Rousey.
Yeah.
She got shit on too. She got shit on that whole lead up to that fight. It was like Ronda was a champion. I mean, so many people have talked about this, but she got shit on, and it should not be that way.
Yeah, man, it was crazy because, like, the whole buildup was for Ronda. I get she's a star. They could have mentioned Amanda a little bit, especially after, like, it wasn't kind of like a random chick that somehow got the belt. It was a very linear line, you know. It was fucking Holly beat Ronda, Misha beat Holly, Amanda beat Misha. So it makes a lot of sense, and she should have the respect. You know what I mean? Like, Misha got mad respect when she beat Holly, but when Amanda beat Misha, it was kind of like, all right, Amanda's champ now.
Exactly. Well, and I also don't think that, like, had they, made it, in the build up to it, made it more of a competitive fight, and everybody, the casual fans' mind, then the news wouldn't have been so big about it, because now it's this huge, shocking upset. And it was never that way. I never believed for a second that Rousey was going to beat Nunes. I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, but I didn't think that there's no bone in my body that thought that Rousey was going to walk away winning. There's no way.
Yeah.
Nunes is a fucking beast, dude. Like, and I don't mean this in any derogatory type of way, but that's a man. Like, that's straight up, like, dude, she's trying to be that. Like, and I don't think I'd offend her by saying that. Like, in some sorts of the fashion, that's a man. And she's just fucking gangster. Like, I'm a fan of Nunes anymore. Like, her fighting style, like, it sucks that she gasses out towards the later rounds and shit, but man, like, she's just fucking out there to throw fisticuffs.
I agree with you. She's always ready out there. She's always ready to brawl. I think Shevchenko might get the belt though, because Amanda is good, but she's like almost kind of like a Vitor Belfort in his prime. You know, where he just comes out fast and explosive.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yep. So
and I'm kind of sleeping on Shevchenko. Like, I know about her. I've watched a lot of her highlights. I've watched past fights and stuff. Like, I know about her, but I'm not really. I will admit it. I'm not giving her the credit she deserves. I'm going to go with Nunes on it personally, just because I'm a fan of Nunes, and I don't know. I do like Shevchenko. I guess I just have to go for Nunes on this one.
Because I feel like Shevchenko might get it because when you look at her resume, which isn't really that known, she beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk as in
3 times.
yeah. So she in Muay Thai, so she has that under her belt. She beat Holly Holm and like outstruck Holly Holm, and then that fucking armbar she landed on Juliana Pena was fucking nasty.
See, and that blew me away. And I had Pena. I would have swore Pena was going to win that. I didn't think that Shevchenko was going to be able to handle her on the ground. And that blew me. My jaw was dropped. I couldn't believe it.
That was like high level shit. And I was like, oh, wow. So she has a lot. So when you think about it, she fucking beat Joanna striking. She fucking submitted Juliana Pena on the ground. And you know, she fucking beat Holly Holm, a great striker. So, and when she fought Amanda Nunes, she won the 3rd round. So that it's a 5-rounder. And Amanda being kind of parallel to Vitor, if she doesn't get that finish early, it's going to be trouble, especially with more time.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think that if Amanda's going to win, it's going to be within the first 2, maybe halfway through the 3rd round. And you know, that's the only way. She is not going to edge out a decision. I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah. What do you think about fucking Yoel and Robert Whittaker?
I don't like it.
You like it or you don't?
No, I don't like it because I feel like Musasi's getting skipped. I do think that there's a lot of hype around Whittaker right now. And don't get me wrong, like, I was on my feet jumping when he was teeing off on Jacare. I'm not a fan of Jacare. Like, that was awesome. And I just think that either somebody else should fight for that spot. Yoel is definitely that person. He should be in that contendership. Yeah. But in my opinion, it should be either Rockhold fighting for that. I almost think that somebody should be fighting to see who gets to fight Yoel. And I know that we're getting down to a time crunch, and that's really not possible. But I don't think... All right, if you pick out Musasi, Rockhold, and Whittaker, in my opinion, Whittaker is the last one who should be getting that shot. Because, like, he beat Brunson. Brunson just, I mean, yeah, whatever. He's been on a tear. He's been doing very good, whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, I think that it should be either Rockhold. I am not a fan of Rockhold. I just think he's an arrogant fuck. But I'm starting to become a bigger fan of Musasi, and I think he's getting fucked. I think he's getting skipped. I think that should definitely be his shot. I don't think that it's like a thing where they're setting it up so that Yoel is definitely going to get into that title contention.
You said you do feel like they're doing that?
Kinda. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Whittaker. I think that Whittaker, if it gets into the later rounds, I think he's going to win. But goddamn, Yoel can throw a Cuban missile from anywhere, man.
He's like fucking. It's almost like a random ass explosion at any time. It's fucking. He can end a fight at any moment. It's crazy. And
I don't know. What do you think?
Like, I think. All right, so I mean, is the matchup fair? I don't know, like, because when you look at it, it was when Yoel took out Chris was kind of like that next guy. He was basically up next for the title when he had the rematch scheduled when he had to pull out against Luke when Bisping got the shot. So upon his return from just being champ,
hold on. Bisping, remember that?
Oh yeah. Fucking from Bisping. Thank you for that, sir. Fucking when Bisping got the belt.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. You had to. It wouldn't be the same. So when Bisping got the belt, Chris was coming back, and then he was like, you know what, I want to fight in New York, and then he was like, I don't give a fuck, I'll fight Yoel. And then the Cuban missile hit his dome piece, and it was. Nothing was the same after that. And then you had fucking Gegard. He got the Chris after that, and with what happened with that whole fight with the fucking illegal legal knees, that really fucked Gegard. Because if Gegard had a win over, if he had a legit win over Chris, I feel like they would have had to have done Whitaker Mousasi to see who gets Yoel. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair.
But I feel like because of the climate, Gegard is renegotiating, and then and then everyone was saying before Jacare fought Whitaker, oh, Jacare should get the title, even though Jacare he lost to Yoel, and then he beat fucking Vitor and Tim Bosch, I think, and I think that was it. And then they're saying, oh, he's next up, and then when Whitaker beat Jacare. And I don't know if you saw Gegard on UFC Tonight, and then Bitch Bing was like, "Oh, fucking buddy, this guy."
I was just watching that again this morning.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, what do I say? If Whitaker got a shot because he beat the guy that choked you out, but that's not fucking fair because Mousasi has a win over Jacare too. I'm pretty sure that he knocked Jacare out. I'm not even sure, but I gotta look that up. But I'm pretty sure they're 1-1. So Mousasi does have a win over Jacare. So it's not that fair to hoard that over him. So Mousasi fucking beat Mark Hunt. So Mousasi has a claim to the title shot.
Yeah, he's a proven veteran. Oh, the funniest thing that Mousasi said in that was he said something along the lines of, well, the better fighter doesn't always win the championship. Look at you and Rockhold.
Oh man. And then they said they're working on Rockhold Mousasi, which should be a good ass fight. I want to see that fight.
I'd be excited for that. Whatever. I mean, the matchmakers are doing what they're doing. They got reasons that we're not let in to know, so this is just our opinion. I do like Robert Whitaker. It's not that I don't like him. I actually like him more than Yoel. I just don't think that, I don't know. If he fights another fight and loses, then he's, kind of lost what he's worked towards. So, if you get that chance to take it, man, more power to you. I'm not hating on you at all. I just think that, that in the hierarchy of it, that Mousasi should be. But like you said, you make a good point that, with that last win over Weidman, how that kind of plays the field for everything.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not really, and I'm not saying that it will never change. I am a fan of his skills. I think that, and he's like a superhero, man. Yoel is. But I just don't like the cheater. And I'm not saying the cheater as far as like the tainted supplement because he was cleared on that. I'm saying the cheater as far as like the
ice
Tim
shit.
Kennedy way.
Yeah.
Like when he got off the bench, when he was on the bench and there, Tim Kennedy's walking around waving his arms up, like, what the fuck? You forfeit. You're not getting up off the bench. You forfeit. Like that fight should have been over.
That shit is fucked up. And what Yoel was doing is fucked up. But if you look at it, Tim Kennedy isn't within his full right to be like on the high ground in that situation because when Tim Kennedy was fucking Yoel up, when he was hitting him with those uppercuts that rocked him at the end of the round, he was holding him and grabbing the inside of the glove, which is illegal. So Yoel couldn't fucking defend himself. And the ref never caught that. So it's like
I never caught that.
Yeah, and that shit was illegal. Go back and watch that fight. He has his fingers dug in under the wrist wraps, under the tape, holding his hand down and fucking raining uppercuts into his face. And then Yoel got fucked up. And then Yoel cheated with all the ice and the bullshit. And his corner I don't think the corner did it because of that. I feel like Yoel's corner was going to cheat if he got rocked, like, in a regular way. But it was like they were both cheating. And then Yoel just did Yoel and turned it on like when he needed to and knocked him out. So it's like that was sketchy. But Yoel did that same shit in the Weidman fight. I think there's like too much ice. Yoel is sketchy as fuck when it comes to that. He plays dirty.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. What are you saying?
I was going to say, I just don't want to see that in the champion, I just think that's like, if he gets the belt and that's what's representing the middleweight division and he's doing shit like that, that's just going to give a really sour face to the UFC in general, like, that's what your champion does, like, and he's going to, and if he get, like, let's be realistic, Yoel's a killer. He's going to be hard to get out of there.
Yep. I think his last loss was to some guy named like Rafael Feijão in Strikeforce. But I think that was it, man. Like Yoel hasn't lost in the UFC. Maybe you could argue he should have gotten DQ'd in that Tim Kennedy fight. So you could say that, but he rocked Jacare with like a random ass spinning back fist. He just does wild, crazy shit out of nowhere.
Yeah, dude, I do like that. Like, there are some things I like about him. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I just don't like the cheating. Like, if we're all going to be on a level playing field, like, that kind of shit, like, I don't know. It just makes it wrong, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that, man. Like, he should definitely just like stop doing that cheap shit, because it really he fucks no one else over but himself, because he can't get the respect for his fucking badass shit. You know what I mean? Because he's like, oh, Yoel won that fight, except, you know what I mean? Yoel knocked out Chris Weidman with a fucking crazy flying knee, but in between corners he got extra rest. There's always an asterisk in it.
Yeah. And without that, like, I can't see anything that would prevent me from being a fan of his without that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing holding me up at this point. Like I said, down the line, I might be a huge fan of Yoel. But at this point, that's really the only thing where I'm like, man, I can't get behind this guy, because he's really not playing by the same rules as everybody else. Like, if he has a chance to cheat, he's going to.
Yeah, like, I've seen like Yoel fucking, like, I've seen some videos where he was like training with Jon Jones down at Jackson Wink, and his personality, he kind of seems like a fun guy. He's like one of those guys, like, even though he doesn't really speak English, you could tell like he's just kind of like, when you could tell people, like, when you see people that don't speak English but they're still trying to like be like in and like crack jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. He was like that kind of guy. So I can imagine like he's a pretty like laid back, like fun loving guy. And like if he does get his shit together, would he, like, I don't know if you've ever seen like any fucking interviews with him on the MMA Hour with his translator. Oh, bro, that shit is intense. Like, if you watch a clip of that, he'll just be like talking, and like he'll just say this shit with like such confidence and like sternness. It'll be like he's like fucking saying a manifesto, and with the translator going off, it's like, yo, he could be a scary dude, and they can market him in a like as like a great fighter, like that scary ass fucking fighter, and that he could get the Spanish market. So if he fucking cleans up his act and stops cheating, like in the cheap shit, which makes it like more annoying and like petty than anything, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he could definitely be a good champion. Oh, and we were talking about Jose. He defended the title 9 times, including WEC.
See, and back in the day, there's this dude from my hometown, Chris Mickle. I remember it was like the big buzz back in the day. Mickle's going to WEC. Mickle's got a WEC fight, And I think it was right after Jeremy went to the UFC and fought Den Thomas. Or it might have been right before that. But they both went to those kind of shows around the same time. And nobody knew who Aldo was, So we were all just kind of like, Chris Mickle is, up in the higher ranks locally. And, dude, Jose knocked the fuck out of him. First round, knocked the fuck out of him. He hit him with this fucking crazy knee and wobbled him, sent him back to the cages, came up with a head kick, just clipped him with his toes, but just started doing the Jose Aldo, wide punches and fucking real stop it. That was even before Jose was even champion, or that might have been one of... Actually, I think that was Jose's first fight at WEC, to be honest.
Dude, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. That was right before the Cub Swanson fight.
Yeah.
And
I think that, I was going to say, it might have been, I thought it was his first WEC fight, both of those guys, because Mickle never got another shot again at WEC. He went back, came back to Des Moines, I think. He fought for that title, like the Midwest Cage Championships is the real big organization in Des Moines. And I think he fought for them I know that he did win the title. I think he won at 145 though, and God, I don't. I want to say he didn't defend it very much. But anyways, Chris Mickle, that guy's, that was years ago. But yeah, he got his shit clipped up by Jose.
That's crazy, especially when you're going there and you're in person to support like the hometown guy. You're like, let's go, and he just gets clipped up, kneed by this guy you don't even know. You're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah. Well, and like back then when I watched it, Mickle didn't look to me then as he looked like, because I just rewatched that fight not that long ago, like within the last 2 months, and like how it looks to me now compared to what it looked to me then is completely different. Like even in Jose Aldo, but Mickle just didn't. I mean, I can see why he never really went any further. And that's another dude, Jeremy Stevens, fucking knocked the fuck out of him twice in title fights, Des Moines State Championships out here. One of them was like a Thanksgiving Throwdown fight. First time that the promotion ever had this thing called Thanksgiving Throwdown. And right in the beginning, he already hit him with the spinning back. Jeremy hit Mickle with the spinning back fist early in the fight, like maybe the second round. Maybe it was 15 seconds into the fourth round, hit him with another one and broke his face, dude.
Oh, shit.
Knocked him the fuck out. Yeah, he pulled him out in a stretcher and shit. Broke his fucking face, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, that was back when Jeremy was like way fucking savage, man. Like,
when you
savage.
When you texted me and you said when you were thinking about Buckholz being laid out, were you talking about when Jeremy Stevens laid him out?
Yeah.
Yeah. That Jeremy.
That was a good one.
you see, you know what's fucking crazy? That's the thing that that had me, because when Dom fought Cody No Love, I was like, yo, Dom is training with Jeremy Stevens, so there's no way he's not used to going with a heavy hitter. Yeah, so like Jeremy Stevens fucking hits like a truck. When you look at,
dude, I've been fucking rocked by him a couple times.
Oh shit! Oh, let's hear about that, bro. Hell,
we'll say that for another episode. That's nothing special. Practice. Just practice room shit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't gotta get into details or anything.
I never got finished, but just practice room shit.
That's what's up.
He was much, much better than me. Let's just put it that way. I was outclassed.
That's legit, man. So how long do you want to talk about the AM career for a little bit, or you just want to like touch on it, like how long you did it for? Or?
I mean, it's nothing really special. It's really, I got into MMA just watching fights. I had a buddy, like we were street fighting all the time, like going to bars just fucking fighting all the time. I had a buddy who was just getting into MMA. Through another friend, Timmy Gorman. He was on the Misha Tate season of Ultimate Fighter. And that was the guy who like introduced us to Des Moines Mixed Martial Arts and stuff. So my buddy Steve goes to Des Moines Mixed Martial Arts. He's training for a fight. He gets his first fight against Jackson Mason, which was this local dude that was just a knockout king, man, but just a party dude, never really went anywhere, but had a lot of potential. But anyway, so, we were out bar fighting all the time, and I remember this one time, dude, we were at this Irish bar, and I got mounted and I got pieced on a little bit, I was like, fuck, dude. I need to, like, if we're going to be out here, like, clipping people upset, like, that's cool, like, I can do that, but I need to know how to, like, really fight, So I just started going there just to kind of learn how to, I just wanted to learn how to fight, And my buddy Brian Green was going to put on his first show, and he was just trying to fill the card. And my buddy Steve, so by this time my buddy Steve had fought Jackson, got his nose broke, so he's looking to get another fight. So Brian's putting on this fight card, looking for fights. Well, my buddy Steve, his cousin, was talking all this shit that, I'm going to come fight. I was like, I'll fight that dude. I didn't have a fucking clue who this kid was. I was just like, let's fight. I can make 165. If he can make 165, let's just fight. So that's just kind of how it happened. And so I trained for maybe 4 weeks. for that fight, you know, like actual legitimate training and shit. And like, but going into Purcell's, like, you would do like the Muay Thai, but he wouldn't let you go live until you've been there for a month. So really, I had not even any sparring training. I just had like hitting pads and rolling, you know, jiu-jitsu. You could go live jiu-jitsu, but he wouldn't let you go live sparring for the first month or something like that, or until he just thought that you were ready, really.
Yeah.
And so, you know, shit, I don't even remember. It was fucking 2006, I think. Yeah, 2006. And so Brian Green put on that fight card, and like Jens Pulver was a guest referee. Like the referee for my fight was a guy named James Jabu, who also fought in the UFC for a couple fights. I don't think, actually, no, that was Kevin Burns. He fought on the same card, actually, though. Kevin Burns triangle choked Ron Carnero back in the day.
Oh, nice.
That guy was from Des Moines Jiu-Jitsu, and but he was like a local, you know, big shot locally and shit. Like he was good, but he was out of Des Moines Jiu-Jitsu, and that's just kind of how it all started. Like basically, it was just filling the card. Like, yeah, dude, I'll fucking fight that guy. And so it was 165, and I weighed in at 164. He weighed in at 187, and like he didn't even try to make the weight. You know, he was just fucking whatever. You know, and like fuck it, dude. We put all this work in. Let's just fucking. I'm not going to fucking quit the day before the fight because this guy didn't make weight, dude. Let's fucking fuck the weight. Let's just fight. So we did. And it was cool.
That's fucking cool. Did you how did you feel after your first fight? Were you like, oh, like that's something like I really like doing, or you like once you got it?
Dude, I loved it, and it finished first round TKO, and so from that fight, I just went back and just trained. And then they had another fight. The same guy, Brian Green, he had another fight card in March. It was on St. Patty's Day, and I fought on that. I fought kind of a ground guy, and he kept taking me down and shit. And like his wrestling was way better. Like he was a very good wrestler, like a state qualifying wrestler, national TMIL team champion wrestler. Like he was good, and he kept taking me down. But my jiu-jitsu was better. I was able to get up, but that's not. I don't know. I ended up winning second round armbar.
Oh, nice.
And that was just I don't know. But shortly after that, my girlfriend at the time got pregnant. And slowly became my wife, and you know, I always had this aspirations to go back, and like I'd call Purcell like, hey man, you know, like I want to come back in, and you know, and this one time I called him, dude, and this fucking burns me to this day. This one time I called him, and it was maybe like the middle of the month, and I was like, yeah, dude, I've been wasting time. I'm ready to get back in there. Like this is fucking killing me. Like the way I left wasn't how I wanted to ever just stop fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, if you fucking come down here, I'll give you the rest of the month for free. And I fucking never fucking showed up, man.
Damn.
I guess I just kind of decided to be a husband and a dad and, you know, support my family than go that route, which is probably the safer bet, but...
Yeah,
I just want to have some involvement in MMA. That's why this is really interesting to me, and I really like this opportunity, you know, and like connecting with you and connecting with Quick Hits too. Like, I just want to have the involvement in it, just chat, just have a community where everybody can, you know, come together, talk MMA. Some people can just talk about their fan-friendly shit. Some people can get together and talk technical shit, you know, like, just let everybody get together. Let's just build this and just make a big community just to, you know, see how big we can make it, because the UFC is getting bigger, and the bigger that gets, the bigger this can get. And this is just us having fun, you know? So let's have some fun and fucking chat MMA.
Hey, I feel exactly the same fucking way, man. Like, this shit is dope. Like, even just talking to you, it's cool because honestly, a lot of friends that like I hang out with, yeah, like if I'm like, yo, the fights are on and shit, you want to watch it and shit, they'll like appreciate it, but I can't have like in-depth MMA talk with them, you know what I mean, just because they're not into it like that. So
I absolutely know what you mean.
yeah.
100%, man.
So then, like, to fucking like be able to talk to some like people online in the community and be like, oh, why did this guy lose? Oh, like this guy spent too much time in the pocket, didn't manage distance enough, and people like know what they're talking about. And and the best part is like especially what I've noticed on like this channel and fucking like Quick Hits 2 and like now just like the new climate, people are fucking respectful. No one's like, oh, fuck you, this guy's gonna win, like fuck your opinion. People are actually like making points and like being mature about shit. You don't see that shit a lot,
Yeah, except like hashtag fuck Oscar and the Beast. I clipped the Beast shit up a little bit.
Yo, I saw that.
And that guy comes up going, man, fuck Quick Hits 2. I'm gonna fucking make Quick Hits 3, and it's gonna fucking out. Like, dude, for one, fuck you. What this guy's done is working. What you're coming out doing, talking all this shit, does not have me interested in the least. So, like, you can guarantee I'll never click on your shit, motherfucker. Like, I don't even like how you're coming out about this. Like, you're coming to his channel. Dude, this dude's doing a good thing, in my opinion. Like, I like this guy's shit. And you're gonna shit on him, dude? Fuck out of here.
You hit that bitch with that cyborg jab to the face. I saw that. Like,
dude, the fucker never responded, man. I was waiting for it, dude. Every time I hear a notification, I was like, oh, that's gotta be him, dude. The fucking bitch didn't say shit.
That's how you know, like he don't want no smoke. He's just fucking in there talk. He's just fucking trolling. And the thing is, like, that's legit troll shit. And Quick Hits 2 is just fucking like diffusing his shit with facts. You know what I mean? He's not blocking anyone. I think he should block that bitch though, because that guy's just like a troll.
Yeah. Well, dude, honestly, some of what I think is, like, if you look through all of his videos and kind of look at the thumbs up, thumbs down, like, the only video the one video, and it might have changed by now, but it had 2 thumbs down. His response to the fake cease and desist letter. It has, like, 100-some thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. That's probably fucking QH1 and fucking hashtag fuck Oscar doing that shit. That's all it is.
Oscar.
Dude, that shit makes me roll every time you're sitting there talking. Oh yeah, hashtag fuck Oscar. That shit fucking makes me roll.
It's the way he does it too, because he mentions it like so, like, oh yeah, like he's like, yeah, and then we got this guy talking about this guy. Oh yeah, hashtag fuck Oscar, and then this is going on.
Oh fuck, man, that shit has me rolling.
Yeah, and like the notorious double champ, he was saying how it's so funny because he'll be just like shitting on Quick Hits 1, and then like when the video comes out, like you'll see like fucking the 1 thumbs down, and he'll be like, bitch, I know it's you dropping that 1 thumbs down lurking in here. Like,
I never saw that.
Yeah, it's so right. It's so funny, and then like there'll be another new video, and then he'll like Notorious Dumb Champ would say something, and he'll be like, "Yo, and don't come over here dropping that 1 thumbs down," and then like later you'll see like that 1 thumbs down.
Dude, I don't know. I'm happy for the new guy, man. For his story of it and how it's all happened. Like, good for him, man. Like, yeah. Fucking, I hope you succeed, man. Good for you.
And he's honest, like, you know what I mean? Like, when he was saying, it was funny as shit. He's a funny ass guy, and like he came out and saying like, yeah, I'm like how Jon Jones does martial arts, I do the custodial arts, and he like how can you not respect that? The dude works a hard job, he works an honest living, comes home, just wants to chat MMA like the rest of us, and he's funny and entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and what about the guy, I don't remember what video it was on, but he's like, sorry, y'all, just got off work 3 hours ago, my brother's car broke down, we had to walk home, because that's the fucking world I live in, or however he said it. It's like, dude, yeah, like, I support you, man. Like, I know that struggle. Trust me, dude. I know it.
And the thing is, he could paint any picture he wants. And the fact he's being honest, like, I believe everything he says. It's authentic. You know what I mean? I have no reason not to believe him. He's been nothing but honest, and that's something I could really support and get behind.
Yeah, I mirror exactly what you just said.
Yeah, man. So like, it's cool, man. Just everything going on and the community. Just talking to like you guys. Like I can't shout out everyone because that would take fucking forever. I was gonna do a video where I was just like shouting out a bunch of people, but I'm like, yo, this is gonna take forever, and I don't know if anyone's gonna sit through it. But you know, just talking to you in the comments, and then like we started linking up and just like chatting and fucking the Notorious Double Champ, and especially when like the shit first started happening, and like CJ Pradia and everyone was just like talking, and it's so funny because it like all really started like us just giving our honest opinion at like fucking like Sports Quick Hits page, because there's no other page. So, and we just all saw like everyone just feeling the same way, and this shit just fucking like exploded into a new community. You know, Quick Hits is gone, but the fucking community feels stronger than ever.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And like I said, like I was thinking about it. I don't think I ever one time commented on any of his videos, and it wasn't like I was just not into it, you know.
Yeah.
And like with and QH2, like this is the most I've ever commented on anything. And like I'm into it. Like, man, I support you. Like I will do as much as I can to support you. Like I really would like to see this guy succeed, man. Like, cause I like the story. Like I get behind you because like I don't like how that other guy was. I don't like it, you know. Like let's just forget about that bullshit and let's fucking just kind of like wipe the slate clean and start new. So let's build this shit up, man. Let's like help you build your shit. You help us build our shit. I ain't ask for any handouts or nothing, but let's just work together as a community, you know, and just fucking help each other.
I feel exactly the same way, bro.
I don't know. I'm excited for this year. I think that there's going to be a bunch of really good fights coming up. You know, UFC 212, it's really a stacked card in my opinion. Like, there's some good-ass fights on that card.
Yeah, they got fucking Eric Silva versus Yancy Medeiros, Paulo Borrachina versus Uluwale Bamgaboose or whatever. You got Vitor versus Nate Marquardt. Gadelia versus Carolina. That should be a good fight.
I mean, that would be a good fight, yeah. So there's a couple of girls who fucking Champ just ran through.
Oh, shit. I didn't even, I forgot about this. They got Rafael Assunção versus Marlon Moraes or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, do you know about Marlon at all or no?
No, but I'm interested in the Assunção. I'm a fan of that guy.
So, I don't know too much about Marlon, but Marlon, I'm pretty sure he was over at World Series of Fighting. He was like their champion. He was their guy. He was kind of the one where they were like, all right, he needs to come over to the UFC. We need to see him there because he's just like dominating everyone. And now he actually signed the contract and he comes over and they're giving him a top guy. So if he actually beats a Assunção, bantamweight's looking fucking pretty stacked at the moment then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I want to see what he does because I know he trains with fucking Mark Henry and like Frankie and all them.
Ooh, you know what? I might have heard something about it. Just kind of like hearing some stuff in some interviews of passing. I want to say that those guys, like those their coaches and stuff, are like, dude, this guy's fucking legit. Like he's gonna come in and take over type of shit.
Yeah, that's how everyone's talking about him. So this is kind of like a moment of truth thing for him.
Man, that would be interesting to see, you know, because the people who really make it, like, you know, if you win your first fight in the UFC in an exciting fashion, you know, you really get a lot of people behind you. And then, but, you know, it just seems like if you lose your first fight, even if it's a good fight, you know, it's just the questions start coming, you know. This the natural nature of people is they're always going to look for a negative aspect of something, you know? Like, you can't ever just point out everybody's positive shit. Everybody just got to dig for the dirt. And Ariel Helwani is the best at that.
Yeah.
And, man, it's unfortunate at some point, too, but, I mean, it is what it is. It's what creates the news.
He's definitely kind of like the TMZ of the mixed martial arts world. He's such an instigator. That's what I can't respect that. Because I remember one time he had fucking Dom and DJ on the phone at the same time, and then he was like sucking off fucking Demetrius, And then as soon as Demetrius was getting off the line, he's like, "Oh, Demetrius, you're the pound for pound greatest fighter. You don't get paid enough. You don't get enough credit." Just fucking sucking him off. And then he was like, and then as soon as fucking literally, he's like, "All right, DJ, I'll talk to you later. Good luck with everything." And he's like, "Dom, so what do you feel about DJ saying he's pound for pound number one when you beat him and that should be your spot? And he's saying he's better than," you know what I mean? And he just like instigated the whole, like, you know what I mean? And Dom called him out on that. He's like, "Look at you, trying to start some shit."
Bitch shit.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't even want to get into that fully right now, but I can't respect
I didn't
that.
personally see that particular thing, but there's plenty of it. You know, like Connor called him out, like, "Dude, you're just fucking stirring the pot, aren't you? Just fucking stirring the pot." And yeah, that's what he does, man. And I guess that's what makes him who he is. And, you know, more power to him, because I ain't in his position, but yeah.
Yeah. Yuri Alcantara is in this card. Do you know who that is?
Who?
Yuri Alcantara. He's in the bantamweight division.
Oh, I haven't heard of him.
He during fucking the Bisping Hendo 2 card, he was the guy that did the crazy chain of submissions against Brad Pickett. I don't know if he's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now I know who you're talking about.
Yep. That's exactly who this guy is. So I want to see what he does, because off of that last fight when he did that with that jiu-jitsu, that shit was impressive as fuck.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude, I was just watching this. This is way off subject, but man, for like, if anybody listening wants to see like a good fight, I'm pretty sure it was back in the day, but I found it because I was looking for Josh Neer versus Nick Diaz when they fought like way back in the day. And I think that this would have been just a little bit after that, but Nate Diaz fought Josh Neer. And I don't even know if a lot of you guys know who Josh Neer is, but he was he fought Melvin Gillard, which was his first one in the UFC. Triangle choked him. You know, he was probably like a 500 fighter in the UFC, but his fight against Nate Diaz is one of the, if you want to watch like a high level, almost like a stalemate type of fight, because neither one, like each of them had an answer for everything. You know, it's just constant action, just transition to transition to transition. Just, dude, if you like watching like high level shit and you want to see like just like people who haven't, like, I think you could have gave that fight to either one of them. Like, just so, you know, just an answer for everything and just nonstop action. Like, dude, that is a great fight, man. One of my favorite fights of all time, I'd have to say. It was just fucking, I don't like decisions just because I like to see the finishes. But that's a decision fight that I love to watch.
That's crazy. I never even really heard of him before. I just like looked him up right now. He's got a lot of fights. I'm definitely gonna check that fight out.
Neer, back in the day, there's this place in Des Moines called Toad Holler, and it was like just amateur fights, just like kind of like a bar fighting thing. That's where Jeremy Stevens had his first fight, that when he was like 16 or 17 with a fake ID. And Josh Neer was like 99-1 or something, or like 102-1 or some shit. And like his only loss was to Kevin Burns, who fought in the UFC a couple times. Actually, dude, Kevin Burns got knocked the fuck out by Rumble Johnson, head kick knockout, when he was fighting at 170.
Oh, yeah.
Got Kevin Burns. Well, Kevin Burns was the only person in town that ever beat Josh back in the day. And then Josh came back, beat the fuck out of him, and gave him a get well soon card on the mat.
Oh, shit. That's fucking boss as shit.
But yeah, man. Yeah, Josh had a lot. He's had a lot of fights, man. He's a teacher down at. There's a place in town called Run Kick Gym, and he's a teacher down there. A while ago, there was some news about him beating the fuck out of this dude, and it's kind of like the same cyborg Magana situation, talking shit. Then you got your ass beat, and then you want to go around talking. You know, he didn't press charges or anything. It was at the gym. The dude came to the gym and. Yeah, Josh, you can find that's on YouTube. It's interesting.
I'm gonna look that up.
But yeah, that's probably one of the better gyms around here, anyways. But yeah, he's a trainer there, and I think Paul Bird is a trainer there too. Paul Bird was on God, it was one of the first seasons of Ultimate Fighter, like maybe like one of the first 10 seasons, maybe. I think he got beat going into the house. And I was a local guy that did pretty good.
That's pretty cool, man. Like that's a lot of dope ass stories. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like doing a lot more calls and just like getting all this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because this is like cool hearing all this. You know, the start of like people like Jeremy Stevens and shit like that. That's fucking dope.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I agree 100%. Like, let's see here. Yeah, I was like, no, I got about half an hour, and now we're on for an hour and a half. So yeah, we definitely got some shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna get going. I got some shit I gotta do here, but it was definitely good talking to you, and like you said, definitely looking forward to having some more of these phone calls. There's definitely a lot of fun. I hope people enjoy hearing some of this shit.
Hell yeah, man! Like this shit was dope, and yeah, we chopped it up on the phone a few times before. That was fun. Like that this shit was like instantly flowed. You know, it was cool. Like we just had like good conversation from the jump. So I definitely wanted to get this call in today too. Like yeah, I thought like I had like something to do today. I still got to get that done, but I was like, you know what, like I know I'm gonna be real busy later, so I want to get at least something quick up. And so I'm glad we actually got like a legit ass call in. You know what I mean? I kind of thought it was gonna be like a quick like kind of touch and base, but we covered a lot of shit. So this is a dope call. Yeah, actually, fucking my boy's calling me right now. Yeah, so so you want to let everyone know who you are in the comments and your username and stuff like that.
I'm MMA from the Heartland. You probably see me on QH2, comment on a lot of those videos and on these and MMA fan and stuff. But MMA from the Heartland, and yeah, it was good talking with you and everything, man. Definitely new to this, but definitely having a lot of fun with it. I see sky's the limit as far as this goes. And like that, you and me have talked about a couple things, planning in the future that, man, I'm really fucking pumped about.
Yeah.
Especially now that, like, we can definitely tell you and me click. Like, I think it's going to be even better now. I could do it myself, you could do it yourself, but I think that, like, realistically, this would be more entertaining.
Most definitely, man. Yeah, so like we're gonna be probably like work that shit out, announce that quick. Definitely gonna get more calls in because this shit was fun as fuck. It was real interesting, and yeah, man, like yeah, I appreciate all the support from like day one and fucking you just getting in the comments. I appreciate you listening to my stuff. You really don't have to, so I definitely really fucking appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no, I really like it. For anybody who doesn't know, Mastermind MMA, he really does have some knowledge in the sport. It's not just like a fan. Like he actually has like in-depth knowledge. He's definitely been in the mix. So like he can see things a lot of people don't see. And I mean, as you've heard, he has a point of view that a lot of people, didn't see. I at least didn't see myself. So. He's definitely worth checking out. He puts out good shit, so, it's good to see your channel's growing so rapidly over these last couple of days, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate everyone. This shit got me fucking pumped. It's got me, like, motivated to keep doing this shit. I'm fucking stoked on this shit. And, yeah, this
me too. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have any content on my channel as of yet. I would have liked it. I mean, I'm going to be getting some stuff up there. I mean, I've kind of talked with you, kind of my angle on it, but I am going to be getting some stuff up there. I'm just new to this, and I think that, like, kind of networking, making my presence in the comments, people are kind of, just seeing my name out there and stuff. I think that's probably better than just putting some videos out there and just letting it linger. Now it's old shit. So I think this is probably better for me anyways, kind of just getting myself out there a little bit before I ever, put anything out there. But I'll definitely have some stuff coming up. I don't have a time frame or anything like that. There's definitely some equipment I need to get and stuff like that. I don't want to put out some shit. I want to, do the best that I can, put out the best quality and stuff that I can. And, like, you've definitely been a big help. And, I appreciate you. I appreciate the phone call. Absolutely.
Hey, man, I appreciate everything you had to say, man. I appreciate everything in the call. We'll definitely fucking chop it up soon. Work on shit, have more calls up, and I'll have this shit up in a few hours.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you very much. You have a good day, sir.
All right, sir. You too, man. You already know. It's Mastermind MMA.